Ever felt like running a circus and homeschooling at the same time? Welcome to Homeschooling Multiple Kids. Today, we're going to talk about 3 reasons why homeschooling multiple kids may make your hair grayer quicker than you'd like. But before I jump in, I know what you're thinking, but Wendy, what about the joy of homeschooling multiple children and seeing them raised all together? Hold that thought. We'll get back to that. So, after careful consideration and a well thought out plan, because I am plan, prep, pray, I decided that I wasn't going to teach my 3 to 4 year old, or well, she was 3, turning 4 in October. So I decided I'm not going to teach her how to read this year. We're just going to play. We're going to have a good time because guess what, y'all? I've got 5 children, okay? A 7th grader, a 4th grader, and a 1st grader. So I thought to myself, listen, we don't need to do no pre-K. Let her play, right? 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 So imagine my surprise when I whip out, hold on, let me whip out these sight word cards and I'm going through them with my 1st grader. And she picks one up and just starts sounding out the words and reading it herself. And I'm just like, listen, chick, we had a plan. Now, as I told my friends, as I cried that afternoon, I have never taught 2 kids how to read at the same time. And I did not want to do that the year that I'm teaching 1 kid pre-algebra. All right? No, not #goals. So why was she not following the plan? So as you probably guessed already, one of the biggest reasons you might not want to homeschool multiple kids is because you're going to have some advanced learners, y'all. Them little kids are going to learn through osmosis. They're going to learn from their older siblings and be exposed to much higher levels of education that they wouldn't have been exposed to had they been either the only one or had they been in a setting where it's all kids learning just around their grade level, you know? And so if you're somebody who has a plan and likes to stick with it, and this might be a reason that you don't want to homeschool multiple kids. Let me know if in the comments if you've experienced this as well, where your younger kids are learning things that not even your older kids learned at the age that they're learning it. If you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. So I know it kind of works as like a good and a bad thing, I guess, depending on who you asking. But I was really stressed out about it, y'all. Like this whole never having taught 2 kids how to read and having a child learning pre-algebra and having another one just on like a regular like reading level track and being one kid that wants to be a writer when I'm really good at math and another kid that wants to be a cook or a baker and I like my kitchen clean and all these different multiple ages just all reliant on me as one teacher when I really feel like they should have 3 different teachers teaching them. It's a real thing to consider when you're homeschooling multiple children is that there is that potential for increased stress because of it. Now, it didn't stop me from homeschooling multiple kids, but it is a real thing. And it is a real thing to, in a lot of ways, prepare for as you come up to that level of needing to homeschool more than 1 child. It is a thing that I kind of had to learn as I did it, and there's always going to be things that you learn as you do them, but there's a lot that I could have done ahead of time just to make it a little bit easier, just to be a little bit more diligent when it came to time management and when it came to just surrounding myself in a community full of homeschool mamas that could encourage me and come alongside me and just help me navigate with their tips and tricks and different things like that. So make sure you're subscribed because that's what I talk about here is homeschool mom, productivity, time management, just how you balance it all as a homeschooling mom is what I talk about here because I understand that you are not just homeschooling or taking care of the home or taking care of yourself or homeschooling multiple kids. There's a lot that you need to balance. There's a lot that you need to navigate through and I come with the tips and tricks. So make sure you're subscribed. So all that to say, I hope you find comfort in the fact that you ain't the first to do it. I'm not the first to do it. It's been done. More than one child has been homeschooled at the same time, and they have succeeded. People have succeeded in this. So I really hope that that encourages you and lets you know that you can do it, and that gaps are okay. I know everybody talks about that, but gaps are okay. There is a beauty and a joy to homeschooling more than one child. But that is a reason to consider when it comes to homeschooling multiple kids. Now, I'm going to leave you with this last reason. So my oldest is obsessed with his younger brother, like obsessed. He said when he was born, he is going to love me so much that he is going to think I'm his dad. That's how obsessed he is with his younger brother. Just a little backstory. Prior to my youngest being born, I had 2 prior miscarriages, and it really impacted my oldest son the most out of all my children. He had a lot of fears when it came to my pregnancy with my youngest, and he's just bonded to him and just loves him to death, and vice versa. That's what ended up happening. My baby is obsessed with his older brother, loves him to death. That's his absolute best friend. So if you want your baby all to yourself and not to be obsessed with his older brother, then you shouldn't homeschool multiple kids. But that's the thing that happens when you homeschool multiple kids. A lot of times, maybe not 100% of the times, but I dare to say 95% of the time, you build stronger family bonds because they're together all the time. They love each other. They know how to navigate between older and younger children. It's not this like, I'm too big to be hanging out with these older kids, or I'm too young to be able to talk to an adult, or anything like that. They have sense of non-ageism. I don't know if that's the word, but they've got a really good family bond because they've been homeschooled together. And honestly, that's the joy that keeps on giving when it comes to homeschooling multiple kids. Now, even if there can be some disadvantages like the stress, there's a lot more advantages, and it really is all about your perspective. Now, you might be saying, Wendy, I hear what you're saying. I'm picking up what you put down. It's going to be hard, but we can do it. But when you homeschool multiple kids, that means a lot more mess. And you're right, it does mean a lot more mess. But check out this video right here, where I talk about 3 easy cleaning routines that you need to prevent all that mess.